Hi, Wong here, and I'm now in Fort Myers, Florida. Today's date is 6th of January 2016. I have a very interesting call with my coach Blessinger yesterday, and a couple of things that happened, so I want to do this video just to document my thoughts and so that everyone, including myself, can learn and internalize it. How many of you have this moment whereby you were wow because of what you have done something very interesting? And the fact is that how many of you realize that if you are clear with what you want in life, you can take action pretty fast? Thank you. So the idea is that a lot of you, when you are looking at doing things in your as an entrepreneur, any new project, any new businesses, the first thing that I would like to talk about is really the concept of what. A lot of people actually thought that it is the why which is important. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? And what is my mission? Well, I will ask you this question first. What? Okay? So let me explain why. First of all, you must know what you want. You must be clear with what you want. And then you can ask the second question, which is the why. A lot of people actually thought that it is very important to ask why, and therefore they lack clarity. They may have figured out, okay, this is my mission, this is my vision of doing things, but when it comes down to what we call the what, they got stuck. Because the correct sequence is, in my opinion, and again based on my experience, is once you know what you want, and you will find out why you want it, and the result, which is the action, will be very powerful and phenomenal. Okay, so let's say you talk about what. In my case, well, I recently, if you read up my Facebook post, you notice that I am a very big fan of Robert Kiyosaki. And also one thing that I found out based on my experience and knowledge is taxation. You know that, right? So let's talk about this. What do I want for Robert's stuff? Well, since Robert talked about taxation, and I thought, let me talk about tax principles in relation to Robert's classical quadrant concept. And guess what? I then understand, as a result of knowing what I want, which is tax plus ESPI. And I asked the second question, why do I want this? So I asked, why do I want this? Why do I want this? I keep asking, why do I want this? And guess what? I found out that, oh, this is because in the book Second Chance, Robert mentioned the fact that it is very important to fill the gap called financial education. So if you haven't read Second Chance, I suggest that you pick up a copy and read it because it is very powerful. And he said, and I just quote it using my own words, traditional system of education, we have produced a very large number of academics and professionals, but the school do not teach us entrepreneurship. The school didn't teach us the selling skills, the marketing skill, and the branding skill. So there is a problem with lack of financial education amongst many people living in today's economy. So I asked, okay, and how many of us actually know tax? I mean, as an entrepreneur, how can you not know the basic tax structure planning? You may not know what exactly it is because the details you leave it to the specialist. The truth of the matter is that you must have some idea of what the fundamentals and the basics of tax systems in the country that you are living or in the countries that you are investing, isn't it? So my coach actually asked me a couple of questions before I even started the coaching call, and he asked a lot of very good questions about if I place my money in Singapore and make money by property sales, how would it be treated for tax purposes in Singapore? And if I were to make some money by buying and selling shares in Singapore, how would it happen? And I also told him the fact that if you generate dividend income from Singapore, it is tax exempt, and as opposed to a lot of countries which will impose tax on dividend income. So these are some of the very critical basic questions. The fundamentals never change, the basics never change, but this is what I would call the very basic and yet powerful questions that one should ask. And then you leave the implementation of the details with the specialist. Okay? So as an entrepreneur, I found out that, wow, maybe I should do videos on Singapore taxation system applying to ESPI and explain how would we would we be treated differently if we were playing the roles of employees, self-employed business owners, and investors. And my coach was pretty impressed with this idea, and he loved the video that I did for him. And I said, wow, this is the what, this is the why, and I implemented by showing a video, and I now know what I need to do for that initiative, tax and ESBI. Amalgamating what I've learned and have practiced for over 22 years, taxation, and ESBI, which is the financial education, I can see the link finally. Even though I've studied Robert's stuff for more than 10 years, the why only came in as I figure out the what and the why. So I want to do this video to show you that the thought process, once again, in summary, is not to ask why, ask what is it, clarify the specificity, and then you ask the second question, why. What, why, that's the way to do things as an entrepreneur. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this teaching here at Fort Myers. Wong here. I'm going to post this video up soon. If you have any questions, comments, look forward to hearing from you. And more importantly, if you have any suggested topic on entrepreneurship that you would like me to expand, please also include in your comments, because I would take that into consideration when I do future videos. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Signing off now at Fort Myers, Florida. Cheers.